Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got two replays in the Eastern Alliance Era 1 Premium Medium Tank, the T-55A. Now if you do enjoy the video, as always, don't forget to like and subscribe down below, as it really does help out the channel. And yeah, the T-55A. It's a pretty old school tank at this point for Cold War. It was one of the first ones that they released in Era 1 as a premium, and it's just a pretty okay tank. There's nothing, it's not really that special of a tank, if you know what I mean. It just sort of does what it does pretty well, and there's nothing that special about it where you go, oh, that was fantastic about it, that's fantastic about it, that's fantastic about it. It's just everything's a bit average about it, and it just gets on pretty consistently with what it does, which is dish out some pretty decent damage and be able to ricochet the odd shot here and there off your turret and just keep the damage pumping out, because it's got a pretty decent reload. It's got 320 alpha, you've got 240 penetration on the standard AP, 330 heat pen, which is glorious for everything you're going to need to face. I mean, even then, the 240 penetration on the APCR is good enough as well. And your mobility's pretty okay at 57 kilometers an hour. You do hit it. You've got pretty decent view range. Like, on the whole, it's just decent, right? There is nothing to shout home about this tank. It's just okay at what it does. And someone did ask for some video on this tank, and thus I started playing it, because it's one of those tanks that I just sort of look at and go, yeah, you know, yeah. Do I want to play it? Nah, maybe, maybe not. So it's one that I always kind of just overlooked. And the fact that I really enjoyed the World War II version as well, which makes me just go, you know, I can't bother with the Cold War version. But it's not too bad, realistically. For having played it quite a few times now, it's a pretty decent tank. And with the penetration, the mobility at 57 kilometers an hour, the ability to just get around, the armour, which, like I say, is not the best, but at the same time, because of angles and stuff like that, you can ricochet, unless you drive out in front of 4005s like that, you moron. And, yeah, you can have a pretty decent time with the old T-55A. So what do I run in terms of a crew on the T-55A? Well, I run Born Leader, Rapid Reload, Sixth Sense, Situational Awareness, Steady Aim, Snapshot, Run and Gun, Track Mechanic, and Rapid Aim. Rapid Aim to make the turret traverse better on the tank, because the turret traverse is slower than the track traverse, so it's the one thing that you really want to try and help get better if you can. Then I run the 3 gun perks to make sure that this gun is as good as possible, because you can get it down to 0.26 accuracy with this setup. And the situational awareness is one that you could drop quite easily, if I'm honest, in Cold War, because naturally you could just knock your view range down and then make something else better. I mean, there's plenty of things that you could possibly take on that. You could take something like Deadeye to make sure that, well, to make it so that you're doing more module damage with every shot, or should I say a higher chance of doing module damage with every shot. You could take clutch braking if you want to make your track traverse faster, but at the same time then that negates your turret traverse being quicker a little bit. Off-road driving if you feel like the ground resistances are suffering on your tank, so that, you know, you're not really hitting your top speed, but you don't really need to do that. I mean, you could take armor angling as well to reduce the amount of damage coming in, so that when you are taking hits, instead of, say, taking 400 damage, you're taking something like 380 damage on average, you know. There's many different ways of setting up your tank. I just take view range because, well, there's nothing else I really figured that I wanted to take instead, right? But it is what it is. And then in terms of equipment, I run the advanced loader, the gun stabilizer, and vents. Vents to make everything about this tank better, so stuff like the aim time, the accuracy, the DPM. Gun stabilizer to make sure this gun is as good as it can be, and the loader to make sure that I've got 10% better DPM. As always, we want to make sure that the reload is as good as possible, and with that sort of setup, you do get the reload down to 3.5k DPM, and you get the reload down to 5.4 seconds, and obviously with your boost with food, it gets even better, and you're on a 4.9 second reload, which is definitely beautiful. So, this first replay, we are on Chaobang, and we've got into a bit of an awkward situation here with the RU, but thankfully, we just about get the reload in to kill it. I thought, when I was in the T-55A, I thought, oh, that's a little light tank, I'm going to go for the meme ram, and then ended up losing lots of health to the RU, and was like, oh, that was a bit awkward, maybe I shouldn't have done that. We try and get a shot to track the 268, but unfortunately, it didn't track, it just penned, but thankfully for me, the 268 just went, you know what? You can live. I'm not bothered about you. And he drove away. It's like, oh, thanks, Mr. 268. I love you too, brother. And we're up to 6.2k, damage of 692. Assistance, there's only one tank left on the enemy team. It is the 268. And we're just going to go after this guy and try and get round after him. Obviously, he is distracted, so luckily he's not going to be coming my way. We get a shot to try and track and pen him, which we do, which will give us some lovely assistance, and we always take that. We finished the game with a really nice total there for the Eastern Alliance Era 1 Premium, the T-55A. Finished with the 3 kills, the 6.6k damage, 1,032 assistance, ace tanker, the high caliber, 1,586 base XP. A pretty damn nice game there for the old T-55A in Era 1. And we're on to the second replay of the video. And the second replay is one I think I played this game on stream, actually, because I think the person asked for it on stream. And we're on to Severagorsk. And Severagorsk, you can see we've got a different skin now for the T-55A. And it is the Black Friday skin, because this tank actually has 2 different skins that you can have on the Eastern Alliance Era 1 Premium. It's really weird that it does have 2 skins, because you've got the skin that you saw in the last game, which I think is glorious. I think it looks absolutely amazing. And you've got the Black Friday skin, which is the same as all the other Black Friday skins, right? Where it just paints the tank black, which makes it look cool anyway, because it really does. And I just wish that the T-55A in World War II also got the same love with the skins, you know? But anyway, I digress. We're on to the second replay on Severagorsk, and what we're going to do is push over to this position at D3, which is going to be a little bit awkward if we have to use our gun depression, because naturally the T-55A only has 5 degrees of gun depression, very, very Soviet, and that is a problem for you, naturally, the fact that if things are trying to use their gun depression against you, you're going to struggle to get your gun down to shoot them. But so far, it's going okay. We're up to 626 damage. We've got a nice shot into the 4005. But at this point, it's like, oh my lord, that 4005 is coming. This is not going to be a good time. We get the shot to try and track it. But unfortunately, we didn't track it. I'm like, hello, Mr. 4005, help me. There's another 4005. But thankfully, the 4005 doesn't fire at us. I go, hello, Mr. Centurion 2. I do not care about you. This man is dying. Good night, Mr. FB 4005. I was happy to take the hits from the Centurion 2 just to get rid of that 4005. It's like, just get out of my game, sir. I don't want what you're selling. And we get rid of it. We're now farming up on the Centurion 2, who we shut down there. And we are up to 2.5k damage. Now looking for shots into the T-55A down below. Oh, RNG. We end up only doing track damage on the T-55A. We go for the shot on the T-55A. Never meant to shoot the SHA-25T, but he went down. He just went, get down, Mr. President, and took the shell. We're now going to finish this guy off. We did mean to shoot him that time, and we get the kill on the old SHA-25T. We're now looking for shots across the way towards their cap. They've got a 268 over there. That's going to be pain. We don't want to take a hit from the 268 because that thing hits like a truck, and it's not very nice to take. We don't want 150. We do not enjoy 152 millimeters of pain. It's a very painful experience, as the name suggests. So you know what? Screw that 268. I'm going to probably struggle to actually spot it. I'm not going to bother. We're not bothering with that. In fact, actually, we did spot the 268, so that guy's not actually set up for camo. What we're going to do is go try and help our team defend the cap. We get a nice shot there into the SHA-40T, put another shot through his turret. Unfortunately, he got a shot into us, and luckily, he's just sitting there saying, shoot me! Shoot me! Shoot me! And you know what, Mr. SHA-40T? Okay. Then we take another hit from something else that we can't see at this point in time. And it's like, okay, what is shooting me? No, stop it. We're up to 4,073 damage. And you know what? We want revenge. That thing that shot us is not allowed to do that. So we are going to go find it. You can see I'm trying to spot it with the true vision, see what it was. We get spotted again. There is the charioteer in a bush. We couldn't physically see it because he was sat in the bush. And he gets a big shot into us. We're just trying to put ourselves in a position where it's awkward for him to get a shot into us, but we can then shoot him, and we luckily ricocheted the shot off our tracks. Well, I say luckily, that's kind of what we were aiming for, and it worked. We're now going to side scrape off this little house, get a shot towards the charioteer. Oh, the shot just whiffs him. It's a sad time. It does look weird at times, the T-55A's shots, because the shell velocity is obviously not the quickest, but it's not the worst on this T-55A. It's 887 meters a second on the standard APCR, which, again, it's not great, really. But 900 meters a second shell velocity on the heat rounds. So the heat rounds are a little bit quicker. It's not very quick for Era 1, and it is definitely a very, very slow shell velocity, but you could have worse. But then again, in Era 1, it's probably actually one of the worst ones in terms of its shell velocity if it's not a tank destroyer. So that poor Centurion 5-1, he lost his head. Oh, he was not happy to see that 4005. Now we're going for the shot to finish off the T-55A, which we do. We're on to our 4th kill of the game with 4.8k damage. And there's only 2 tanks left, which we know exactly where they are. They were the 2 guys that were in their cap. So what we're going to do is go forward. It's like, oh no, that's a 268. Oh, God, gravy, that was close. Well, we take the rough with the smooth. We get some nice shots there into the 268. He fully caught us out there, which could have been very, very bad. Go for the shot into the cupola, and because we've got heat left with 330 heat pen, we were always going to absolutely trash that poor guy, and we get the kill. We're on to 5 kills. We want a top gun. Hello, Mr. M46A1. You know what? I'm just going to be aggressive because this guy does have good reload, he has good pen, but I want my top gun. And unfortunately, we couldn't quite secure it, but we did end up finishing the game with 5 kills, 6.5k damage, the victory, 1694 base XP, pretty damn nice game there for the Eastern Alliance Era 1 premium medium tank, the T-55A. I say it's a pretty okay tank, there's just nothing special about it really, it's nothing to write home about, it just does what it does pretty consistently, and yeah, that's the T-55A. So as always everybody, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
A great success!